Hi, this is Shade with TaxSaleSupport.com. I'm here with Stephen Swenson, and this is another one of our Property Deal of the Week videos.
Yeah, and today we're going to be talking about Florida tax liens. Now, Florida has an auction in May each year where they go ahead and offer up those tax lien certificates, but what we're going to be really kind of going over today is over-the-counter investing because the auction already took place.
Yeah, when we talk about over-the-counter, we're talking about normally liens that might be left over after the sale. Over-the-counter investing can be attractive to investors because you're able to earn the maximum rate of return instead of competitively bidding it down. So in Florida, that's 18%. So over-the-counter liens in Florida are highly attractive.
Yeah. So the opening bid amount, the delinquent taxes, that is essentially what you're going to pay. And like Shade said, you're automatically going to get an 18% interest rate because you are buying it over the counter.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that because we get a lot of questions about over-the-counter liens in Florida.
Yeah, for sure.
Before we do that, though, we want to encourage you to subscribe to the channel so that anytime that we produce a video like this, you'll be notified about it.
Yeah, we also have some new YouTube membership program available, and so if you're interested, go ahead and click on the join button. You can check out some of the features that are included.
Yeah. Now, because we're going to be looking at over-the-counter properties here, we're going to be doing this just a little bit different, but we have an over-the-counter database on Tax Sale Support, and so that's where we're going to start.
Yeah, in fact, there's a lot of over-the-counter tax liens available, and a lot of these counties have moved from providing the list in an Excel form, and then you actually buying the tax liens from the county, to an online system where you can go ahead and buy them online. So Real Auction will go ahead and offer some of the counties online. Grant Street Group will go ahead and offer quite a few of the counties online. But there's also a number of counties that you can't buy online that you need to actually get the Excel list, go through it, and then actually mail in the bids to the county or contact the county to work that out. And so, even though you can buy a lot online, there's still a number of counties that you need to do it the traditional way. Yeah.
It's also interesting to note, too, and important to note that not all of these counties have their over-the-counter available on the same day. Over-the-counter properties or liens become available at different points, and so it's important to follow along with some of these if you want to be able to get any of these kinds of opportunities.
Yeah, in fact, we're actually going to be checking out Gilchrist County today, and this is the over-the-counter list that came out yesterday. And what I want to show to you, this is kind of a small county, but what we want to show to you is we want to show you how quickly those over-the-counter tax liens can sell once they hit these online auction websites. And so if you're interested, we can see some of these areas that we're opening up on the 27th. You really need to be there with these online over-the-counter sales on that day if you plan on picking up any good over-the-counter liens.
Yeah, they're just not going to last. It used to be that they would last for a few days, but even, they're just going faster.
Well, and if it's a bigger list, it might, Gilchrist County is a pretty small county. In fact, we can go ahead and click on the preview items for sale, and it'll go ahead and pull up. So, here we only have 252 liens.
Yeah, not very many.
Yeah, which means that most of the liens sold during the auction. Which makes sense, most liens, if they look good, people are going to buy them. But what we'll go ahead and do is we're going to check out these liens from the most expensive lien to the cheapest. And we can see that the most expensive lien that's no longer available, but was available on the over-the-counter list when they posted it, is only $675.
Yeah, really quite small.
But we can go ahead and click on the tax year, and let's look a little bit into it and see, was it left out of the auction for a reason? Is it junk, or does it have some possibility?
Yeah, so it looks like it is. We've got an address here on it. There's additional unpaid certificates on it. There's 3 of them, but there's also 2 of them that have redeemed.
Yeah, in fact, if we look at the certificate history up at the top, we can kind of find out a little bit more about it. And so we can see that this still has 3 tax liens on it. The 2016 and 17 have closed, but there's still a 2018, 19, and 20. And we can see the face amount over there on the right-hand side, which means that if we're going to foreclose on this property, we're going to have to pay off those additional tax liens.
Yeah, about $1,600, $1,700.
Yeah, so we're going to have to pay an additional $1,700, plus there's probably some interest on top of that as well to be able to foreclose on this property. But let's look a little more into the property and see what we can find out. So we can do 2 things. We have the parcel ID that we can click on, and we also have the map as well.
Let's see which one you want to start with.
Let's click on the parcel ID first. So it's a pretty basic record, but we can see some of that additional information. It's 16 acres. But what I wanted to look at the record for was just to see if there's any sales information. It looks like it did sell back in 2005 for $75,000. It was issued with a warranty deed. It was vacant land then, so it's kind of the same that it is now. And then we can see that it has an assessed value of around $37,000 as far as the market. We know that somebody in 2005 was willing to pay $75,000 for it. But let's go ahead and look at the map and see exactly what it is. And we want to make sure that it has some type of street access.
Yeah, which here we can see, that it does appear to have street access right off of this road. And we can see that it's also uncleared, that it's naturally landscaped. So probably not a high likelihood of having other problems with it like liens.
No, well, we can also see that there's homes in the area. Homes across the way, there's home right up there as well. So people are building out within this area, so you probably could go ahead and build on this property as well.
Yeah.
Now, if we were to look in the market value based on Florida market values, I'm sure that it's worth more than this. In fact, I would assume, being that big a property, it's probably worth double what the assessed value is.
Yeah, I agree. It probably is worth double.
So for the person that did pick up this tax lien once the list came out yesterday, they really got a pretty good lien. Even though it has those additional other liens, they're going to have to pay probably another $2,000. By the time they're said and done, you're paid $3,000 or $4,000 to get a property that's worth, let's say, even 50. 16 acres, that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah, and I think chances are it's probably worth closer to 100.
Mm-hmm. Very well could be.
Let's see.
See if the second one down looks good or not.
And Florida makes this, being able to preview it like this makes it so much easier than in some of these other places. Here we can see that there have been 2 certificates that are still outstanding, 2 of them that have redeemed, and we can see it valued here at about $25,000. It's vacant land of about 10 acres.
Yeah, so we have kind of a parcel address, property address, but not a full one. So what we're going to do is we're going to do kind of the same thing and look a little more into it and make sure that it is usable.
Oh yeah, we can see here. So a couple things about it though. The road is not paved. So it's a dirt road here. But it does appear to have access.
Yeah, it's definitely in a more rural area. You can see other homes along there though, so that road is an accessible road.
Yeah.
It's not like just a private road, because you can see how there's lots on either side of the road. So it is accessible. It overall looks like a good lien, and based on the amount of the back liens, let's go ahead and look at the certificate history real quick.
I can see that 2017 and 16 paid off.
Well, and one thing to mention is when we see that they paid off, we can see that both of these property owners have a history of being delinquent and then paying it off before it gets into significant trouble. Right, once it gets around that 2-year mark where they can start the foreclosure, the deed application, they're paying it off so that it doesn't go to the deed application and ends up going to a deed sale.
Yeah, and what it does is really it almost guarantees that the property is going to redeem. Because you've got a property owner that's actively engaged in ownership and that has been through this before, and they pay off the liens. So this is just somebody, that is just biding their time, and will pay it off as the money comes. Not a situation there where you're going to get the property. Depending on what your objective is, the interest rate should kind of be your objective.
Well,
at least
in
if you're choosing.
In Florida, it's your only
Yes,
option.
it's true. In Florida, it's the only thing you're going to get.
Because
So you have to be happy
if you do get to that 2-year redemption period, you'll go ahead and do a deed application with the county, and the county's going to send it to a deed sale, a tax deed sale, and then whoever buys it at the deed sale is going to pay off your liens, give you back your money and your interest rate. That's paid through the deed sale. So in Florida, you're not going to own the property unless you buy a junk tax lien, foreclose on it, and nobody at the tax sale wants to buy it. And if nobody at the tax sale wants to buy your tax deed, especially through an online auction or something like that, it's probably a pretty junk property.
Yeah, well stated. You just really can't get properties in Florida through tax liens.
Yeah.
It just doesn't really happen. But these are all great liens to purchase, all of these, and these are also all have a very high likelihood of of redeeming. Here's one maybe that it has. Oh, never mind. I saw that backwards. I thought it had 5 outstanding and one that was
Well, let's go ahead and look at the certificate history real quick. You can see this history. Oh, look, they had a deed application.
Yeah.
They got pushed to a deed application and then went ahead and paid it and redeemed. Interesting. Well, let's look at the property real quick and see what it is. It's showing some type of building value.
Yeah, very low building value. Should I pull up the address?
Yeah. Guess we should look at the county map too.
Oh, that's it right there. I wonder what kind of building value.
You know what? Go back and click on the county record. Right there. I want to go down and look at the value. See that? It doesn't have building value. It has extra features value. I looked at this one earlier, and I was wondering what that was. See, it has extra features value instead of... Otherwise, it would be building value.
Yeah.
If it was something like a home, it would be building value. And then go up to the top a little further, underneath...
septic system, maybe?
Oh, land use. See where it says...
Sun and Fund?
Yeah, that Sun and Fund 3, and then .207... I don't know what that's a land
use classification.
Yeah, so I don't know what that is, and we could look it up and find out. But I saw that and I was like, I wonder if that Sun Fund or what that land use is essentially giving that additional value.
Yeah, it must.
I guess it does have the deck and septic. Maybe that's what they're including is because it's got a septic tank and it's got things like that.
Yeah, I wonder is it made for camping or something or
Well, it might have had a trailer or something on there at an earlier date.
Yeah, that could be.
And, so it's got hookups and that kind of stuff. That may be where the value's coming from. But I'm sure we could look in Trenton and figure out what this property value is, and I'm sure a lot with the septic tank and all of that. That's the perfect kind of trailer lot.
Yeah.
Because all you need to do is buy a trailer now, you hook it up to that lot. Now, of course, we're not going to acquire this property, but if it did go to a deed sale, this is the kind of property I'd love to buy to put a trailer on.
Yeah, it would be ideal. In either case, it would be a good lien to buy. It's a small lien. All these liens are pretty small.
Well, and it was a good lien to buy because they're no longer available.
Yeah. All of these. Yeah.
Now that one's got a quick bit more. Let's look at this one. I'm sure.
Sun and Fund. Look at that same legal description. It must be.
No, that might be just a legal description. I just thought it was weird underneath the land use.
Yeah, it is kind of weird.
Now this one's got quite a few open. They're not huge amounts,
but it does make you wonder why it hasn't.
Why hasn't so many foreclosed on it?
Yeah, because these are liens that are out.
We can at least see the 2018, 2017, and 16 were bought at the auction.
Yeah. All of these were bought at the auction. The way we know that is because the interest rate is below 18%, so people were bidding it down.
Yeah, and the other two, 2019 and 20, appear to be over the counters where somebody already looked into it and said, "Oh, this already has 3 liens on it. We're going to avoid buying this lien." Goes to the over the counter list. Somebody looks on the over the counter and says, "Hey, it's good enough for me," and they go ahead and buy the lien.
Yeah. It says it's also, 0.9 acre?
Yeah.
I have to pull it up there on the map to see how it breaks down. Oh, and also how that value. So, $14,000 in assessment, $9,000 in building value. Oh, I see. So they're saying it's $6,000 in land value and $9,000 in building value.
Yeah.
I wonder what the building value is precisely. Extra features,
Mobile
septic
home.
power, yeah. Oh yeah, built in 94.
Yeah, it's newer.
Yeah, they're giving it a fair value there. They're not giving it a whole lot of value considering that.
It's got power, septic, well. It's got a well.
Yeah. Oh, and there's that same thing again. Under the land information, it must be something to do with that. And then the GIS, we can see it right there.
Yeah, so even with those additional tax liens,
it'd be worth it.
Maybe it's $1,000.
In fact, yeah, you could buy this and start trying to foreclose it. Well, These are not that old yet, but if you could, it would be well worth paying any of those.
Yeah, well, and any of the other buyers very well could start the foreclosure process.
Yeah.
And when they start the foreclosure process, they pay you off your money and your interest.
Yeah, so it very well could end up redeeming, at some point by one of those lien holders that bought it at auction.
Yeah, well, and if you're interested in getting started with Florida tax liens, there's a couple more that are going to be coming out here in the next week or so. We're going to be gathering any of the PDF and Excel list and providing on the website, but really kind of what we wanted to show today is that was a list, and it was a small list, granted. There was only 200 properties on there, but all of those good tax liens, or the best tax liens that were available on that list, limited as was, sold within 24 hours.
Yeah, one day.
Yeah.
I mean, and they are gone. If you want over-the-counter properties in Florida, you have to be on the ball. You have to be, and you have to jump in, right at that time period. Otherwise, they are going to be gone.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, you can either purchase online, you can do mail-in orders. It's part of the reason when we're working with our students, if they're really interested in tax liens, we'll try to get them into the auction and focus on tax liens so they can get a higher interest rate return. Even look at some of these tax liens that do make it to the over-the-counter list that other people, overlooked.
Mm-hmm.
But, through Real Auction, through Grant Street Group, and then, of course, any of the OTC lists that we gathered, that you'll do more of a traditional mail-in bid method.
Yeah, which that's also going to have a higher chance of being available compared to some of these online. So,
yeah.
harder
Because somebody
it is
can't
to
just
do.
go there and put in their credit card and buy it immediately. They've got to go through the effort of getting the list, researching the list, then contacting the county. There's just a bunch of
the more
additional
tedious
steps.
it is, the better the chances are that it's not that it's not going to be gone like this in one day.
Yeah. Well, if you like our training, go ahead and check out secretsoftaxlinginvesting.com. That's going to give you access to our free ebooks, our Thursday night webinar, any of our videos. You can go ahead and click the link in the description and access any of that training.
Yeah, it's a great way to be able to learn more without putting any money into it. Really, it's a great way to get a lot of free content. But also for those that want more, you can join the membership program on taxsalesupport.com. It's $39 a month. You can cancel at any time. And essentially, it's a combination of tax sale lists that we provide and also training. Live training is a lot of recorded training. It is a lot of information there to help investors through the process.
Yeah, in fact, we talked about our new YouTube membership program. Our top-tier membership program includes access to tax sale support. So you're going to get access to all of this, along with videos that are only available through the YouTube memberships.
Yeah. So, hey, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't and hit that like button.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Thank you.